You are watching the TikTok Big Break with Shane Warne and Kerry O'Keefe. He would be pinching himself to the Australian captain. He has already picked up a wicket, and England in early trouble at 4 for 59. Interestingly, Kerry and Shane, Mitch Starc had bowled 2 overs. Joe Root came out to the middle and Paddy brought himself into the attack. It was pretty aggressive captaincy. I
thought it was spot on. You know, the match-up between Pat Cummins and Joe Root. Pat Cummins had the wood on him, and I think that battle we're going to see for a long time, captain to captain. Joe Root, the best batsman in the England side. Pat Cummins, arguably the best bowler on the Australian side. What a fantastic matchup. What a fantastic battle. And we've got 5 more tests. So we've got 4 more tests after this to go. So, yeah, bring it on.
And then Ben Stokes came in and he brought Starc straight back on. Again, a guy who's tormented Ben Stokes in recent times. So he's had a capital A plus first session.
Give him a tick.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Big tick for the skipper, Paddy Cummins. All right. We can remember back to 2006-2007. Australia went on to win 5-0, as you know well. So well, Shane. This was the first ball, and it's been much publicised, this first ball of the Ashes. It's Steve Harmison steaming in. Bill Lawry was in commentary. I can still recall it, and it goes way, way wide. So someone needed to do something different to erase this from all our memories, Skull, and it'd be fair to say today, Mitchell Starc has done just that.
Just that. And Rory Burns to just negotiate the first ball, and then Harmy is erased. Nah.
The drop on Isha Gua's head when they piled into the leg stump. Well, we needed an ISO camera on Isha for that one. It did flatten her a little bit.
We weren't picking on her for the one ball.
No. It was good luck, Isha. I hope it's a good Ashes. Oh, you won for nothing. So that was the end of Burns. No doubt he'll be back bigger and better throughout the series. All right. At this stage of the show, in the previous years, we have done the TikTok Great Debate, where you boys get 25 seconds each to argue your cause. The topic today, after West Australia has had their test match taken off them, where should the 5th test be played? Kerry, as always, we are playing for the illustrious TikTok Big Break trophy. You got 25 seconds, Big Daddy. Start rolling.
It has to be in Hobart. I've just felt so sorry for Tasmania. Who amongst us hasn't left Tasmania off the map when we draw Australia? All of us. They want an AFL team. No, that's not going to happen. Barnbougle Dunes is overrated. Agree. I mean, they should have had the test against Afghanistan. No. OK, we won't draw a crowd. But think of the positives if we promote it.
There's your buzzer, Skull.
Tim Payne returns.
There's your buzzer, Skull. You can go. No, David Boone, you've got DC Boone opening.
And they're playing for the Errol Flynn Trophy.
You're out for time.
A phallic symbol.
You're out for time, righto. Nice. All right, Shane, I can imagine where you're going to go, but where do you think the 5th Ashes test should be played?
I'd love it to be in Perth. It can't be in Perth. I'd love it to be in Hobart. But if the Ashes is 2-1, 1-1, you can't go to Hobart with only 11 or 12,000 capacity in people. So you have to have it either Sydney or the MCG. MCG, the Melbourne people, the Victorians, have had the most hard lockdowns out of any other city on the planet. Give it to the Melbourne, give it to 70, 80-odd thousand people, day-nighter, under lights, MCG.
People understand here, I'm not siding with either argument, I'm siding with the debater. Your argument is very strong. Your argument was very funny. You've taken the first one out, Shane.
Thank you very much, Howie. I appreciate it. You know it too. Deep down, you know it's got to be in Melbourne, don't you?
I actually do. I mean, I wanted to argue the Victorian-Melbourne case.
You nearly got me with David Boone opening the batting, though. You nearly got me across the line.
No, he's a fair winner. And honestly, guys, it should be in Melbourne. That would be fabulous. A day-nighter in Melbourne to finish the Test series. Outstanding.
All right, Ashes predictions. We need to move on quickly. We'll start with you, Shane.
Yes.
Series winner
and result.
I'm going to
stick with what I said before the series, and that was 2-1 Australia.
I'm thinking 3-1 Australia. I just can't believe how they're playing horses for courses from the first hour of play, leaving out Root and Anderson. I just don't. Leaving out Anderson and Broad. I just don't get that at all.
Highest run scorer, Shane.
I had Marnus Labuschagne. I think he's just in terrific form at the moment. It's going to be tough. I think Smith's going to be right up there as well, and so is Joe Root. But I think Marnus just looks really, really hungry. I think he's ready to go, and I think he's going to make the most runs.
Skull did have Burns, but I can see you've made a few alterations to what you've been doing.
No, I've got Marnus as well. Okay. I just think low full shot percentage, an unquenchable appetite for runs. Over the 5 tests, he's going to cash in 2 or 3 times big.
Top wicket taker.
Yeah, another Australian. I had Hazelwood. I think he's the... Sorry, I had Pat Cummins, but I think Hazelwood's going to be challenging him there. I think he's the in-form bowler. But I think as the captain, first captain, Ashes series, Pat Cummins, I think he will get the most wickets.
I think Pat Cummins will get the most wickets. I think he'll just bowl balls above the pad line, around the hip, and I think he'll go 25 plus in the series.
Agreed.
The biggest story from the series, Shane.
Well, this is a big one. We talked about the 5th test. My biggest story of the Ashes is Perth. It does a backflip, scraps the 14-day quarantine, doesn't want to... Hears that Melbourne gets a day-night 5th test, that suddenly they do a backflip and said, we will let people into our state. We want the test match. We're thinking of the people in Perth who have missed out in the last couple of years. Let's play it in Perth.
Big backflip. What about yourself, Kerry?
Ollie Robinson is now the leader of the England attack after the Ashes, with the retirements of Stuart Broad and James Anderson.
Good call. And finally, a little one from left field, an unusual Ashes headline.
Well, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, a little bit funny, this one, rather than just a cricket one. So I've gone with Ben Stokes applies for Australian citizenship. He's half Kiwi anyway, so, you know, we wouldn't mind having him. So Ben Stokes plays like an Australian, so Ben Stokes applies for Australian residency.
Kerry.
And we'll take him.
Oh, my word, we'll take him.
We'll take him. Australia becomes a republic and Pat Cummins is our new president.
I like it. All right, we move on to the Big Bash. Last night, the Gades got the job done over the Strikers. The standout moment was the young man they call Rooster. Fraser McGurk took one of the great catches, maybe the best catch we're going to see all summer. If you don't mind, have a look at that one, Warnie.
Well, I tell you what, anyone that's fielded in the outfield, when the ball comes that fast, to judge it perfectly is really hard. He had to jump for that. If you see how he takes a run-up, look at this. He actually takes a run-up, sets himself, and then just vertical jumps up in the air to get the pace of the ball coming and to time all that well. That it's going to be the catch of summer. You ain't going to beat that for the summer. That's as best we'll see.
Well, I'll throw a couple of others at you, but this is what Jake had to say after the match about that catch.
He tried to sweep a few of them, and I thought I was in the game. Sort of reminds me a bit like Ben Stokes in the World Cup sort of thing.
He described it similar to Ben Stokes.
Sounded
I think
pretty excited, didn't he?
He did. They got the job done, though, the Renegades. They bowled really well. This is the catch from Ben Stokes. I want you to tell me which one is better, Fraser McGurk's or Stokes in the World Cup. That's a fair snag.
Look, that's an excellent catch. He's a terrific athlete, Ben Stokes. But I tell you what, Fraser McGurk, that's going backwards, so it was hard to judge. But Fraser McGurk, he had to jog, time his jump to vertically jump up and then not touch the rope. McGurk is a better catch.
If it was gymnastics, the Russian judge would give McGurk a 10 and Stokes a 7. And the ball bobbled in his hand, Stokes. So I'm awarding it to McGurk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I've got, it's already been called catch of the summer. We're only 3 games into a test match. I've got a potential one that is right up there. Okay. Now, like you, Kerry, I like to watch a lot of cricket. I'm now taking your king to the European Cricket League. Now, have a look at this work by old mate, who's not in the best nick, but the coverage he gets, that is a snag and a half, Shane. And wait for the celebration too. He's got a little foot thing going on. That's up there with Fraser McGurk, and a little foot click as well.
And Advanced Hair offered him a contract straight away.
We've already put the call in straight away, don't worry, we have. That is a great catch.
Yeah, it's a very, very good catch.
I'll tell you what, Carl Howe, the boss of Advanced Hair, will be straight onto that as well today.
Now, big double header on the Big Bash tonight. If you have people at your house who don't like cricket, they're going to find the next couple of weeks pretty tough, because the test match started this morning at 10 o'clock local. You can go all the way through. There's a double header directly after the test. The Hurricanes take on the Sixers from Launceston, and then the Scorchers versus the Heat from Optus, with Glenn Maxwell in commentary. So that will finish about 12:30 tonight. So pace yourself, hydrate, look after yourself, because it's only day 1 of the test, then you've got the double header. Now, Shane, I don't bring up this next topic lightly. Before we get to you, no, this is the stitch-up still coming. Alan Border, my great hero. Alan Robert Border, a statue was unveiled yesterday at the Gabba of the great man, and it is a beauty. He's down on one knee, he's got the moustache. He's under his own, well, it's an unusual position for AB there, but cracking statue, Skull, cracking statue.
Oh, it is. And I mean, the thing is, they had to reposition it way too much because of the land was going to shift underneath that statue. So it weighed 4 tonne or something.
Did it?
It was amazing. So,
well, I was lucky enough, Howie, to be in the process as a local businessman in Brisbane who approached Steve Crawley here at Fox Sports without trying to embarrass Crawls. That we then put a team together, as myself, Ian Botham. There's about 5 or 6 of us that really went to the Queensland cricket, went to the government, and we managed to get across the line. We went to Jane Border to help show the designs. And for me, he was the godfather of Australian cricket. For what he's done for Australian cricket, what he did for so many, he's been a terrific leader. So to have a statue there in Queensland at the Gabba, I think is only fitting. It's probably long overdue, but well done to everyone involved to actually get that over the line. He's a terrific man, Alan Border.
and it was a recognition of his services to Forex.
Which he served long and well.
Long and still serves.
But, Kerry, when, as you know, you've got a magnificent statue at the MCG, when you put yourself in the hands of the sculptor, sometimes it can be a risk, sometimes it doesn't. So, now look at Ronaldo. He can't be happy with what they've served up there. That's the Ronaldo effort. This is Cam Smith looking at himself. You can see he's thinking that doesn't look anything like... He's embarrassed by that one, Cam, alongside Billy Slater. And this one here, that's meant to be Diego Maradona. So, like, that's just no good.
Been doing
That's no good. That's no good at all. But you've been immortalised almost, like, what's it in the Presidents? Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
I noticed at the launch of Fox Cricket.
Yes.
We had Mount Foxmore. Here's you and Gilly and Isha.
Yeah.
I don't think it looks a great deal like you. What do you think?
Well, I'd like to think I'm a little bit better than that, H, but you know.
Nah. They had some leftover putty, didn't they?
They did a great job, though. I mean,
Yes.
it wasn't easy. It's 4 metres high.
Yes.
We did all face scanning, 3D, so it was a great way to launch a season, though.
Now, I don't say this lightly. We're about to bring some exclusive vision to the table, and this
I
is...
always worry when I get stitched up in and you have no idea
Hey,
what's going on.
This is not funny because you are unfortunately involved in a motorbike accident and you sent us through some photos, badly grazed. A lot of people wouldn't be at work. That's how nasty the situation was.
Yes.
No one has seen the vision of what actually occurred to Shane. We're about to bring it to you exclusively. This is Shane on his motorbike. And this is unfortunately how it all happened, Shane. We'll describe in a moment. But this is you. You got the wobble, you got the wobbles up, King, and it got away from you. And no one was harmed, which is good news. But I think you're exceeding the speed limit. What on earth happened?
Basically, I was...
Were you going that fast?
No, I wish I was going that fast, but no, I didn't actually have the speed wobbles up like that, too. How well has he done there?
He's all right, that fella, too, by the way.
he-
No motorcycle riderless was harmed in that.
No, I basically just... My handlebars locked up, slid for about 10 or 15 metres, and the whole left side of my body is bruised, battered, and a bit bashed up.
Quite nasty. All sorts of grazes,
Yeah,
but
I
you're
got a lot
okay.
of grazes on my arm and stuff like that, and I was hoping that my dear friends at the WhatsApp group that we've got, I just wanted... Everyone was asking how I was, so I thought, look, I'm okay, just a little bit banged up, but I'll send you a picture through just to let you know I'm okay. And I'm assuming by the sound of what's about to happen that you're about...
No, we wouldn't put the
Thank you
pictures
very
up.
much.
No, we wouldn't put the... Have you ever ridden a motorcycle, Skull?
I haven't, but I mean, the first person on the scene to warn you that day said, would you like an ambulance? He said, no, I'd like a durry. That's what they did in the war. That's what they did in the war when you got hurt. Would you like a ciggy?
We might take a break here. England, they're in a little bit of trouble at the lunch break. They're 4 for 59. Pope and Hamid are out there. They've put a nice little partnership together. Plenty more to come with Shane, who is okay, and Kerry. You are watching the big break thanks to TikTok. You are watching the TikTok big break from Brisbane. Morning one of the first Ashes Test has been played. Australia dominating England 4 for 59, but Pope and Hamid 17 and 25 have put on a nice little partnership. Foxtel customers this summer, we're giving in exclusive VIP experience at Foxtel's Reward Lounge at the ODIs and T20s. All you need to do is watch the big break, which you'll be doing anyway. We'll reveal a new code word every day. Write down that code word and head to foxtel.com.au/win. The more codes you enter, the more chances you have of winning. Today's code word is earn. So type that one in and you could be off to the one-dayers, which would be great because I think we're taking on New Zealand and then Sri Lanka and some T20 internationals as well. Now, we've gone into the lab here, Shane, for a situation. What on earth did you do here?
Well, I was just watching the stitch-up with the motorbike and I was finding it quite funny, so I just went to put the pen, just chewing on the pen, but realised that the lid wasn't on.
Well, this was the exclusive of you on the motorbike, but now this is you're watching it and then you're turning your pen around. We need to see that vision again. I don't think we actually saw that coming out of the stinger, but what did you do? Chew the
Well, there was no lid on my pen. I just went to go like that.
Here you go.
I just went to put the pen in my mouth and there was no lid on it.
Oh, no. That's no good.
Didn't taste very good either, Alan, to be honest. Thanks for the first stitch-up for the Summer 31.
It's an Australian thing for getting on the ink.
Very good.
Oh, Skull, we've missed you. I know you've been writing these down all winter and you're delivering them with a punch. All right, what's going to happen in this next session, Skull? England 4 for 59.
Hazelwood could get a Michelle. I mean, I think he's been the best pre-lunch. He could really take off after lunch. They've got to part Hamid and Pope. Butler in next. Wokes goes all right, but then Robinson, Wood and Leach are there for the taking. Australia can bowl them out by tea.
Yeah, they can. I think England, if they had Joe Root or Ben Stokes there at the crease, and they're only one less, like they're 3 for 60, that'd be not bad. They wouldn't be too unhappy with that. But 4 for 59, they need a big partnership right here. So the likes of Butler, Wokes, Mark Wood, who can swing the bat a little bit, Robinson can a bit too. They can play with a little bit of freedom that just get that score. If they can get up to somewhere around 200, 250, they're in the game. But if they get bowled out for 120, it's game over.
Hasn't no first-class cricket hurt them? They just look rusty, don't they?
Yep.
And just very briefly, Shane, before we go to the break, the big breaking story this morning, no Stuart Broad in the England lineup, so no Broad. We knew there'd be no Jimmy Anderson. Thoughts? Yeah,
thoughts. I think they've got it wrong, England. I think if I was an England think tank, I would have said the first 2 test matches, the Gabba, pink ball and Adelaide, that's when we've got to give it to Australia. I want my best players available. If we have to rotate after that, so be it, but I want Anderson and Broad to play the first 2 tests. All right, we'll take a quick break here. Live play coming up next in the second session from the Gabba. England will resume on 4 for 59, Pope 17 and Hamid on 25. Hope you enjoyed the first edition. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow with the TikTok. You never know, though. Big break.